I'm going to show you my strategy to get 100% returns every time. A 100% return, doubling your money every time. So basically, this is Axiom. This is the platform I use to trade the meme coins. I'll just show you what the main screen looks like. So right here, these are the three sections. This is what I trade is the migrated. Basically, every time a new coin pops up here, this is what I was telling you about that I get HTML notifications. Basically, like I have this thing called distill right here, which scans the elements of this section of the migrate section for each new coin. Again, I'm sure there's probably a better way to do it, but I'm not a coder, so I don't know. But yeah, basically these are I don't know how much you know, but like these are the three sections. The new pairs is just all the co new coins that come ones that come out every second. The final stretch is the ones that gain some good volume, and then the migrated is what happens. Migration, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's basically like when the coin has enough market cap, enough volume for it to be listed on like an exchange, um, where other people can buy it. So I think the main part of what migration means. But anyways, so I'll get basically what happens is I'll get notified on my phone of a new coin popping up as soon as it migrates, and then I'll just open it. So this is a coin that I traded like 2 days ago that fit the strategy. So let me just delete all the other stuff. But basically, there's a couple different qualitative things that I first look at when I get into a new coin. And so this is why I was saying it might be a bit hard to program this into a bot. But basically, like the first thing would be the profile picture. So the profile picture of the coin needs to be a digital image, like just anything that's made on a computer. The reason why is a lot of the times there can be a coin that's like based on a news event that has like a real photo. And while those coins do well, it's not they just don't fit the strategy because they don't hold volume. It's like they can be very viral for like an hour and then they just completely die. So yeah, it has to be a digital image. And then the only exception would be no tech narrative coins. So there's a lot of coins that get made that are about like a random, Solana like financial protocol or something. Like those ones don't fit the strategy because it's very unpredictable. It could be a rug or it could go to like a million for just no reason, even though, I don't know what it's about even. So that's one thing. Another thing is I don't like anytime. So there will be like a green icon here for some coins that are live streamed. So if you make a coin on Pump Fund, you can live stream it. The problem with that is that the coin's price action is very highly dependent on what the person is doing in the stream. So because of that, it doesn't fit the strategy. It's too unpredictable because if the person goes to like the bathroom for like 2 minutes, one person might sell like three soul, and it just all of a sudden it triggers everyone to sell everything else. So so the first thing again, digital image is how I would summarize that. The second thing, the best ones by the way are the ones that are like a character. So the pets not necessarily don't do it as well anymore, but it would be like a Pepe the Frog kind of character, or just hold on, like this one, like this, like that's a digital image. This one, same thing. So that's the first thing. The second qualitative thing would be I check the Twitter community. If it's based on just a tweet, that's fine. I don't really check how much engagement it has, but if it's a Twitter community, which it usually is, I want there to be 20 members, at least 20 members when it migrates. So right when I open the coin, I check, boom, 20 members. It passes that. By the way, the M is where this platform marks where the coin migrates. So migrated from Pump V1. So the M is very important. So yeah, I'll check it. Twitter has 20 members. Um, Let me just check what else I check. Yeah, then I'll check the global fees. So basically, to summarize, back in the day, to check if a coin was a rug, you'd look at this token info, and then if any of these numbers were too high, like if there was more than 5% insiders, this will become red, and it's kind of like a way to tell you coin is probably a rug. The problem is that most of the rugs nowadays have found a way to avoid this, to hide this. So what I do is I check the global fees paid because every transaction has a fee, has a Solana fee. So if a coin is like at 200, let's say a coin migrates, boom, it shoots up to like 200K market cap, but it has like, you know, zero point 0.5 Solana fees paid. That just means that it's like fake farmed volume with all connected or and bundled wallets. So then I'll quickly check that. And then the best way to check if something's a rug is, well, I guess I'll check the pro traders. This platform identifies who's holding that's a pro trader, but really the best way is to go on the holders tab and I'll look at the like top 20 holders. And you know, this isn't really a good example because this coin died. It's from 2 days ago, but I'll look at the balances of the wallets. So I want to see a mix. I want there to be like a couple whales, maybe, you know, maybe someone with 50 Sol in their wallet, someone with 30, someone with 20, but then also somebody with 0.004, somebody with zero point 0.1 Solana, somebody with 5 Solana, 2 Solana, 20, 15 Solana, you know, zero point 0.8 Solana, uh, 4 Solana. Like that is a good mix. If there's a good mix like that, then it's very much so likely not a rug. And the reason why is if even if like let's say the top holders are all have huge wallets, that's not actually a good thing because it just means that it's likely a KOL scam, so, which means that a bunch of the big crypto Twitterers made a coin and are basically just farming liquidity. They'll, you know, they'll promote it, they'll all get into it, and then the coin will just die as right as they sell their huge positions. The last thing I've been doing recently to check if something's a rug is I'll look at the dev tokens and I want there to be at least one other token that the dev made. Just one other is fine because a lot of the rugs nowadays, you'll see like, you know, you'll see the high balance holders, but then you'll also see, and it's a really good coin with a good profile picture. Like this one right here is this one's actually hasn't rugged yet. So I think they're letting it run, but basically I didn't buy this coin even though it's from 40. I could have bought it. You see, I marked it up and everything, but I didn't buy it because all the balance, look at the balances. Maybe now some of them sold out, but this was all, yeah, now they sold out, but a lot of these were like, look, 100. This also means that it was a new wallet that was funded with the Sol recently. So all the balances were huge, so I knew this was a rug. And but yeah, with these rugs, you'll see they'll make a new wallet just to make the coin. So that's why it says dev tokens one, whereas this one I felt confident buying because there's more than one. Um, but the thing is though is that, like for example, this one I could have bought. Like if I was early, like if I was here, I could have bought this coin. And then because what happens is that they'll usually only rug it once it starts dumping. So like this one, I actually expect the developer to rug it right here. Sorry, it's kind of glitchy. Like right there's where I expected the dev to rug this coin, but he didn't, so it's just an exception. But anyways, let's get on to the actual structural part of the strategy. So basically what I do is I'll get notified when the coin migrates. Just close some of this. And then I'll zoom in to the M. Actually, before that, what I'll do is I will grab the time duration tool on TradingView, go to the beginning of when the coin was created and go to migration. And the first thing I check is that it migrated in exactly 15 minutes or under. It has to be 15 minutes or under. In this case, this one migrated in 13 minutes, 55 seconds. And then what I'll do is I'll immediately, you know, very quickly zoom into the M where the coin migrated, and I'm going to observe the price action. So basically, what I do is I'll check the, so right here, it gives the estimated migration price for the day, or which updates based on the Solana price. So this coin is from 2 days ago, so I don't know what the migration price, I think it was, let's just say it was 57, right? So what I'll do is I'll draw a migration. Let's just say that migration was like here, okay? So the strategy is I'll look at the coin that led to the migration. So the M is right above this, sorry, the candle that led to the migration. So the M is above this one. And the first thing that it has to do is that that candle has to close above the migration support line that I drew. Okay. Then what happens next is also part of the strategy because a couple different things can happen, right? So I'm going to draw it here because it's easier to demonstrate. But basically, let's just say that my migration happens um, here. And let me draw like a green candle. or actually I'll draw a support line. Let's just say that's the migration level. But basically, the candle that green migrates, I want it to close above the migration support line like that. And then a couple different things can happen from here, right? So if the next candle after this one is is green and is above the migration level, then that works with this strategy. That's scenario one. Okay. That's scenario one. That works. The second scenario is, I guess, an extension of scenario one. It would just be like multiple green candles, right? That would also work with the strategy. But the third scenario, I guess, would be if the candle after this is red. So if the candle after the green one that led to migration is red and it closes below migration, then it's over. It doesn't fit the strategy. Why? Because I want the second candle that's red to close above the migration level. So there's two things that can happen from here, right? Either it becomes green again, in which case it fits the strategy. I would buy this. If it becomes more red, then what I look at is I look at where the red stops. So if it's like 3 red candles, wherever the sequence of candles stops, let's say it's like 3 red candles and then it finally turns green, right? So I'll basically look at if the sequence of red candles closed above the migration support, then it fits the strategy. If it didn't, let's say that it looked like this, then it doesn't fit the strategy. So it's basically looking at what happens at the migration level. That is the most important part of the strategy, I would say. So I'll show you a bunch of examples now. So the first one, this one was the first scenario in which this one was closed above migration, followed by another green candle. And then, yeah, this red candle had a lot of, well, it dipped down really low, but I don't really care what happened because the second green one closed above the migration. So that one fit the strategy. This one, let me see what happened here. This one, same thing. The migration was like somewhere here. I believe it was like somewhere here. Closed above the migration. Second candle after it was green. I don't care what that this was red. It fits the strategy. Let's check this one out. So this one I was kind of hesitant on because it was an AI profile picture. So I did say it has to be digital, and I kind of took a bit of a risk because it looks very realistic, but worked out. But this one, so this one's a bit confusing, but it did migrate on this green candle, and it was followed by 3 green candles, which is super bullish. And let's check out the last one. Same thing. So it was green, green, green. So I guess recently a lot of the coins that I've been trading have just been like the first scenario, which is where it's followed by green after migration, which is fine. I kind of hope for a different example, but I hope you get what I drew. But basically, after one of those situations happens, what I'll do is I'll observe what happens and I'll move the support to a different level. So if it goes up right away, like this one, I'll wait for the pullback and I'll draw the support at like a reasonable entry point in the pullback. And from that point is where, from that support is where it'll double guaranteed. So look at this, 100% gain. Did it hit it? Yup, it doubled. You would have doubled your position. Same thing here. Break support. First real pullback is here. Let's draw 100% return. Did it hit it? Yep. Hit 100% return right there. Let's try this example. So, so for this one, if it doesn't go up right away, what I'll do is I'll draw, depends, right? So if it's followed by green, then I'll draw the support at the all-time high. and then I'll wait for the candles to close above this. If it does the red candle that closes above the migration, let's say the migration was here. If it does the red candle that closes above migration, then I'll draw the support right where the red candle, bottom of the red candle's whisker reaches. But in this one, it was the all-time high. So let me draw this. That's where it'll be. Then I'll wait for the price to close above it, which happened here, and then I'll go to the first pullback. This is the first pullback, draw the entry. Let's go 100% return. Did it hit 100% return? Yep, hit 100% return. You would have doubled your money. Last example right here. It's going to be the same thing. Happens every time. It's happened so many times. It's like actually unbelievable. So support at the all-time high. Again, if I was doing, let's say that this sequence of red candles, these 3 red candles close above migration, I would put it there, but because it was just green, 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 green after migration, I'll put the support there. Wait for it to close above, buy at the pullback. So let's just say like somewhere here is the entry. And draw 100% return. Watch this. 100% return. I'll there. Let's watch. Did it hit 100% return? Yep. Look at that. So yeah, that's basically the strategy. Do some of these go more than 100%? Yeah, you saw in most of them it went to like 150%. Um, it kind of depends on the market. If the market's doing good, a lot of these can catch on. I've seen these do 1000%, returns 800%, 400%. But really, the only safe measure and what I'm sticking to is 100% return on your position, just because if you follow all the rules that I gave out, it always hits it. So yeah. Uh, if the market's good, I usually judge that by the 24-hour buy volume. If it's like above 800, that's good. If it's 700, like now, it's almost 800 million buy volume in the last 24 hours. Um, it's okay. It usually just means that this setup, that everything I've showed you just happens less often.